Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chong Kai-yin. We are going to present about the business-government relation assignment, and our chosen company is Apple. This is my group mates, Zitong, Hui-Ting, and Wei-Wen. First of all, Apple is a MNC company with a wide international brand that deals with consumer electronics, software and digital service provider. The company was started in 1976 by Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne. It is based in Cupertino, California, USA. Apple fall in the technology industry and is in the consumer electronics industry and deals in the design and sales of devices like smartphone, tablets, among other devices, plus the provision of service like cloud storage and digital media like Apple Music. Apple nowadays is regarded as one of the most important and high-value company in the world.
Thank you. I'm Kuwaiti. So now I will start sharing how Apple practices corporate social responsibility. So first we'll start with the labor and human rights. Apple is strongly committed to fair treatment across its global supplier chains. It enforces one of the tallest supplier codes of conduct in the electronics industry, with strict guidelines on ethical hiring, workplace safety, and non-discrimination. Since 2008, Apple has educated over 90 million supplier employees on their rights. They also covers everything from workplace safety to how to raise the concerns. They have also interviewed over 52,000 workers in just 1 year to better understand their real experience. This shows how Apple doesn't just sell the policy, it will listen, learns, and acts to protect human dignity at every level. And the next is about the donation and supporting charities. Apple will donate millions of dollars to global causes through trusted organizations like the American Red Cross and the World Wildlife Fund. This donation, this donation support urgent needs such as medical care and environmental protection. But Apple's giving doesn't stop at the corporate level. Through the Apple Employee Giving Program, the employees are encouraged to donate to non-profits, and Apple match every dollar they give. This is not only multiplies the impact, but also builds a strong culture of compassion and social responsibility inside the company. And the last one is about the education and community development. Finally, the Apple is deeply invested in education and community empowerment. The company works to close the digital divide by supporting schools and underserved communities worldwide. One example is Apple's partnership with the Malala Fund. This Malala Fund will help girls in countries like India and Pakistan across the education and build better futures. In the US, Apple will launch the Connect ED program, providing schools with iPads, MacBook, and teacher training. This will help the educator integrate technology into classroom and gives students access to powerful learning tools, no matter where they come from. So, in summary, I think the Apple CSR efforts reflect a company that takes its responsibility seriously, from the human rights and charity to education and empowerment. So that's all from me. I will pass to Tiwi.
In the 21st century, as an advanced technology world, data privacy has become the first concern in society. However, Apple has positioned itself as one of the well-known global leaders in securing personal data of users by being proactive and by being very transparent in their commitments. This can be claimed as a major factor in corporate social responsibility strategy. App Tracking Transparency (ATT) feature is one of the most outstanding privacy protections that require applications to ask users to grant their approval to tracking their usage of packets on other programs and websites. This is making the user more in control of the means wherein his or her data is utilized in advertising. Also, the end-to-end encryption is already used on Apple iMessage, FaceTime, and iCloud keychain. It is a successful feature as it only can be seen and access the information between sender and receiver. Moreover, characteristics such as mail privacy protection, private relay, and on-device Siri processing do not allow third parties to collect sensitive data about users. Privacy labels are regularly published on the App Store by Apple, so every user knows which data each app will collect before downloading. Next, as there are rising cases of environmental issues impacting the world, such as climate change, pollution, and scarcity of resources, therefore, Apple is driving sustainability on the environment by increasing investment on renewable energy and water conservation across the globe. Since 2024, Apple has supported more than 18 gigawatts of renewable energy, which prevented nearly 18.5 million metric tons of carbon emissions each year. Not only that, Apple also works on waste reduction, which focus on closed-loop supply chains by giving the preference to reusing and recycling the materials from old device or even slightly damaged device. Trade-in program in Apple have provide incentive to customer to recycle their old device and its cutting-edge Daisy robot by using innovative technology of eliminating and separating material to recycle material of iPhone. Furthermore, Apple has removed plastic in their packaging, replaced by fiber material, and lower product emissions by designing lighter and more environmentally friendly materials. All these activities are indicative of long-term Apple vision of producing high-performance products and reducing environmental impact so as to build a more sustainable future.
Good day, Miss. My name is Zitong, and I'll be talking about the effectiveness of how the company, Apple, has contributed to the society. Apple is currently collaborating with a food bank from the United States called the Feeding America, and also the Food Bank for New York City as one of their several ways to contribute back to the society. Apple's dedication towards societal contribution goes beyond their volunteer hours. Apple has an outstanding volunteer hour matching program that contributes up to $25 for every hour when an employee participates with us to the food bank. In the previous years of collaboration, Apple's employees has also helped to serve with one of the food banks and raised up to nearly 15,000 solely throughout the program. Moreover, Apple has also stated that by the end of 2030, they will be coming up with 100% carbon neutral when it comes to their supply chains and products. Even though the business is already known for it being carbon neutral for their global corporation operations, they choose to set up to ensure that all of the Apple devices sold will have net zero climate impact. Apple plans to reduce their carbon emission by 75% through renewable energy, the use of recycled and low carbon products, and also increased energy efficiency. Its supplier clean energy program has also encouraged over 70% of their suppliers to commit to 100% renewable energy, saving millions and also tons of carbon emissions each year. Innovations such as robotics for production, disassemble, and increased use of recycled materials contribute to sustainability. So this is all for my part, and I'll pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Lastly, I'm going to present about the effectiveness of how Apple have contributed to the organizations. Apple conduct education to more than 19.4 million workers on labor rights and entrust supply chains feedback to 52,000 employees. Apple also leads in sustainability with 18 gigawatts of clean energy it supports, helping prevent 18.5 million metric tons of CO2 per year. Apple is also in the lead when it comes to privacy with apps tracking transparency. It has its employee giving program which sponsor international charities such education program as Connect ED and collaboration with the Malala Fund increase the accessibility of digital. Apple created an App Store ecosystem which so far had ranked in more than 1.1 trillion US dollars in 2022 billings and 320 billion dollars earned by developers. In-house, the performance management present in the company Apple involve 360-degree feedbacks and goal alignment which encourage employees to stay engaged and accountable. All these strategy, financial, and cultural initiatives prove the success of Apple, not just meeting the short-term objective, but also creating sustainable, long-term organization values by way of innovation and operational excellence. That's all from our presentation. Thank you.